we doing it, YouTube? Is this it? Are we live here officially on YouTube? Yeah, it looks like we are, guys. I'm going to give some time and maybe spread the word out a little bit, and see if we can't get there and bring some folks in. If not, I'm going to talk to myself like a jackass. So here we go, YouTube. I look as if I am infinite right now from OBS because I've officially done this 0 times. So let's see if I could try to work some kinks out here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just stay in the infinite, or I guess the stream looks good when I just jump on a different page. We'll go on to my YouTube page. Jump over to my Twitter. Yeah, I literally have the how to do this page up on my laptop as we speak. Says I have 1 person watching, huh? Let's see. Is it me that's watching? That would be silly. Yeah, I don't have dual monitors. I'm actually doing this via laptop. So who knows how this technically is going to look and sound and feel and all that stuff. Perhaps I should employ the use of headphones. And maybe I can hear my myself speak a little better and see. Maybe. Not entirely sure how this is meant to work out. So if you guys do end up joining in here and see how things go, perhaps we can sort something out and have a lovely stream here. Bad video settings. Well, that sounds like my my channel in a nutshell. Yeah, I think that we're doing the thing here, perhaps. So I'd like to see how I could pop out chat. There we go. Now I could go and do things elsewhere on the internet and not be on YouTube, which seems like a pretty good idea. See, we're learning together. So, yeah, it's the day. It is the day. I'm checking my my Twitter live. We're gonna live tweet, I suppose, and let me see if I could jump onto Facebook someplace and coordinate some stuff here. See if I can go grab this link. we're doing the thing here, perhaps. So I'd like to see how I could pop out chat. There we go. Now I could go and do things elsewhere on the internet and not be on YouTube, which seems like a pretty good idea. See, we're learning together. So,
still by myself here,
yeah,
so I guess I have time to
it's
play
the
around
day.
and figure it out.
It is the day. I'm checking my my Twitter live. We're gonna live tweet, I suppose, and let me see if I could jump onto Facebook someplace and coordinate some stuff here. See if I can go grab this link. We're doing the thing here, perhaps.
This is all test run. Apologies if it's not.
So I'd like to see how I could pop out chat. There we go. Now I could go and do things elsewhere on the internet and not be on YouTube, which seems like a pretty good idea. See, we're learning together.
There, I shamelessly just posted a text at the group chat. Hopefully they
so,
join me here. Still by myself here,
yeah,
so I guess I have time to
it's
play
the
around
day.
and figure it out.
It is the day. I'm checking my my Twitter live. We're gonna live tweet, I suppose, and let me see if I could jump onto Facebook someplace and coordinate some stuff here.
So, while I am sorting out how to bring some people in here, I'll just start generically talking about this YouTube stuff, these shenanigans that we are all privy to. If you are like myself and have only a small amount of subscribers on YouTube, although my YouTube channel has grown quite a bit thanks to a lot of you folks out there. I'll go to my channel here. Yeah, we are, at 442. We actually gained a few over last night or so, and have been just chugging along, as it were. Let's see, get rid of this infinite madness here. But yeah, those who don't know, about a month ago, YouTube came along, and it's been documented on a ton of YouTube channels, especially mine, a lot. I feel like I talk about it a lot. I feel like a broken freaking record. But they announced that they were changing their partnership program, and that if you have under 1,000 subs and under 4,000 hours of watch time, you will be unmonetized if you were previously monetized. So here we are, checking out how to live stream, and we're talking about this because this is the day. February 20th is the official day of the demonetization. So that being said, this is the last instance of the channel being not profitable, but bringing in some sort of revenue. And I wanted to just do something neat with it. So, trying to bring in some folks from the old Twitter. And if you do enter aboard the chat, it says 3 watching, but that might just be because I have like 3 windows open. I don't know how this stuff works. I'm technically terrible at this. So, let's see. Chat is popped out. Nobody is in the chat yet. So, I'll just ramble on until some folks get in here. I put up a Facebook thing. I put up a Twitter thing. Unfortunately, my Twitter is fairly new for this channel. I have 64 followers, much of which are other content creators. So maybe we can get some content creators on here and chat it up and talk about this whole thing. So maybe I should start tagging some folks. I don't know. But yeah, so this is we're counting down here. I believe it's going by West Coast time in the United States, which is 3 hours behind me, so I think I'll be monetized up through midnight here, but I think once midnight hits, we are done for. That being said, you know, it's not a big deal. It's a bad feeling time. It's an annoying time, but it's not something that I think should bring things down too much. I'm getting retweeted about some stuff. RJ, what's up? You came up on not on my laptop. I have the stream up here, and your comment did not show up. Oh, here you are. Cool. What's up, buddy? Here we are. It's my good friend RJ, who is a Magic player, and up until like the end of this week, I guess, is employed by one of the local Magic stores who unfortunately are deciding to close their doors up, and that sucks. So, RJ, what's up, dude? Sorry to hear about everything about the shop. I don't want to air the personal business on the old YouTube stream, but glad that somebody made it on here. It's super weird to me still, because I'm not figuring out I can't figure out exactly how to do this where it looks cohesive and is well put together, and so we're just winging it. This pop-out chat feels pretty useless because nobody is showing up in it, so we'll just go with this. But yeah, today, or as of midnight, I guess, West Coast time, we're getting demonetized here, and that's a giant turd in the punch bowl that is YouTube. But either way, it is what it is. It's basically I have to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of total watch time on my whole channel, and I have, as of right now, 442 subs, which we actually grabbed a huge boost over the course of the last few weeks. And on watch time, I'm actually really close, much closer than I had thought I would have been when they announced it. So I still have, I think you have to have that within 1 year's time. and I'm about 9 months deep, so I have a few more months to go to try to regain the monetization. But as of right now, it's looking to be pretty grim, and it's not like I can miraculously get like 600 subs in the next couple hours, but it's okay. I didn't make any real money off of YouTube. I still haven't been cut a check because I haven't made enough to be cut a check. I'm at like $90 of the $100 you need to get a check from YouTube, so it's not a big deal. But I just thought it'd be fun to try to live stream, and of course, because I can't figure out how this thing works properly, where I can pay attention to the chat and have a decent looking stream, you see me like in 2 separate windows somehow, and oh, I'm like going straight infinite, which is cool. But I don't know. I think you have to have multiple monitors to make this work and look good. So now you'll just see like infinite me, like picture in picture in picture. But yeah. It sucks about the shop, man. I'm really like, I feel bad for Dave and for you mostly, because I noticed that you were the dude like doing a lot of the heavy lifting with the magic stuff, and I don't know. It's a bummer, but try to talk about positive shit, I guess, and I do want to talk more with you about the whole shop stuff, but like privately or whatever, so we can like be, you know, not all up on the internets about it. But how are you feeling about Modern with Jace and Bloodbraid? Let's talk about what, you know, everybody's already talking about. Yeah, Jason and Bloodbraid. I didn't get to play any Modern yet, but I think I'm going to try this week. I borrowed a bunch of shit from Sean, so we're going to make an attempt. I do like the idea of Bloodbraid. I think Bloodbraid's absolutely fine. I think Jund needed something, but I borrowed basically almost a whole deck from Sean for Modern. Let's see. I think I have it. That's not it. That's Tron. Tron's stupid. Oh, it's right here. But yeah, Jace feels pretty ridiculous in Modern. I've been playing a little bit on Untap, and my build right now, it's blue red. It's Blue Moon with Jaces, because I always liked Blue Moon a lot. I like Blood Mooning Fools, and I feel like that deck kind of struggled with having a real win condition, and people were just jamming the Emrakul through the Breach combo in it, which is cool, but I want something a little grindier, and I think Jace is a good fit. So I've got a decent list I've been playing around with. It's on 3 Blood Moons, 3 Jaces, and then 4 Snapcasters, a bunch of counter magic, a couple cryptic commands, main deck Keranos, which I'm super excited about, because Keranos is so fun, and I have played a game where I curved Jace into Keranos, and that feels absurd. So that's the build. As of this very moment. I'm seeing if anybody replied to the Facebook or the tweet that I put out. Which doesn't look as such. Yeah, I think blue-red is going to be playable in some extent. I think blue-black is really good too. I think it was Pascal Maynard had a blue-black build with just a bunch of Thought Seizes and Inquisitions, and some counter spells, not a lot, and Jaces, which seemed pretty solid, and just a bunch of like removal, fatal pushes, and whatnot. But I don't know. I'm also going to play Death and Taxes still, and try to figure out how to beat Jace. But yeah, I just got your text in the group chat. Yeah, Miracles doesn't seem good enough without something really substantial to manipulate your deck. Like, if we had Ponder and Brainstorm, maybe. Yeah, Pascal's list, like I said, is pretty legit. I want to play Blood Moon. Because I feel like the games where Blood Moon's bad, you could just, or in the matches where Blood Moon's bad, you could just kind of get there with Jace anyway. Nick, what's up, buddy? So we're basically bringing the group text to the live stream, it looks like. But yeah, it feels like the matches where Blood Moon is bad, like Jace is probably decent, and Infect. I thought you were on Burn. I mean, you still have the Burn deck that's been like in your possession for a year and a half now. Joffrey, who is Joffrey on the YouTubes? Who are we speaking with? Bloodbraid Panza seems sweet too. Okay, Chris. Yeah, I wasn't sure your YouTube name. But yeah, Bloodbraid, like Panza, Bloodbraid into like Stone Rain seems pretty legit. Infect is still a good deck. I think it's still too underplayed. I think it was probably not quite as good without the fucking I can't think of the name of the card. But you know what I'm talking about. Since the ban from that deck happened, it's not as good. Yeah, Burn is definitely the best, like, just have it in your bag of tricks deck or whatever for any given event. Probe, Gataxian Probe, god damn it. I'm super bad at that. Like, I'll think of like, oh, it's a very obvious card that everybody knows about and is super popular, and I'll forget the name of it. I do it on my YouTube videos all the time, especially when I'm talking about standard cards. I'm like, oh yeah, the one card that does the thing with the whatever. And I was like, yeah, whatever. That card. If it's not mono white and a 2-drop, I don't really know the name of it or need to know the name of it. Yeah, that seems like a pretty decent curve. It does make it so you have to build your deck, so you're cutting some of the bigger stuff, like the Storm Breaths and whatnot in that deck. But still, like, that seems really good. Bloodbraid, just get your land, attack you for 3 on turn 3. You can even, like, cascade into a Blood Moon. You want to make Mono Red Prison in Modern or in Legacy? Because Mono Red Prison in Modern is just Scred, isn't it? That's fair. Yeah, I mean, Mono Red Prison, so you're just on, like, Blood Moon, and, there's no real soul lands, but you're on Blood Moon, Chalice of the Void. everybody's going to be blood braiding into Rabble Masters and Kolaghan's commands, Chris. I plan on doing it at some point. I just need to get the bobs. Because I have a Jund shell here from Sean. Because I have his like Tarmogoyfs and Lilianas and the whole shell for Jund. Except for the bobs. Speaking of Sean, since he's probably either asleep or working right now. Yeah, so you're basically building Skred. But Sean's probably working or he's sleeping right now. I went over his house last week on Thursday, and I helped him organize and like start working on the mountains of magic cards that he has in his spare bedroom, because he needs to clean out his spare bedroom. And I went through a couple boxes, like the 5-row long boxes, and condensed 2 of those into one and pulled out a bunch of like decent commons and uncommons playable stuff. And I found a bunch of stuff there, but I just going through the piles of stuff that he had on his dresser in his spare bedroom, I ended up finding like an absurd amount of just stupid value. And not even stuff that crazy, but I was just like, hey man, you know you have 7 Gideon Ally of Zendikars with the 1 foil that you have? And he, I guess, has been buying full art Zendikar, like original Zendikar and Battle for Zendikar foil lands. And I went through all of his full art foils, and he had, without the stuff that was already in decks and stuff, he had 164 foil full art basics, which is ridiculous. And I did the math. If you round it down to $5 land, it's like $800 worth of basic land. I'm like, Sean, what are you doing with this? You're never going to use all those. He's like, oh man, I just wanted to have like 10 of each art. I'm like, why though? Just pick the art that you like, get 10 of those, sell the rest of the shit. You know, throw it up on the Facebook group or do something. But yeah, he has random stacks of Planeswalkers. We found like 3 or 4 Liliana Last Hopes just sitting on his dresser in piles. I found a bunch of my stuff there. Like, I have my Pauper deck, which sucks about the story, because I was gonna come up and play Pauper at some point if you guys were popping off with it. But yeah, I got my Pauper deck. I got, like, I left this old standard deck at his house, the standard Fevered Visions deck with Jaces and stuff, blue-red spells, that I just left there. Yeah, the difference is, RJ, is you probably know where your stuff is for the most part, and you kind of know what you have. Sean is oblivious. I was looking through those long boxes, and like I found like 8 or 9 chromatic stars. I'm like, you know, these are like $4 each. He just had them there. And I was looking for some stuff for myself. Like, I needed logic knots. Found 6 of them just in his box, just because. And then what else? I was looking for Mana Tithe, because Death and Taxes. Because I'm gonna get somebody with Jace. I'm gonna Mana Tithe a Jace. That is my my achievement I want unlocked. So I found like 12 Mana Tithes, and that's like $1.25 each. Just looking things up as I went. Yeah, with my advice, Sean got one of the like 4 across binders that like holds 8 cards per page, and we took all of his lands, all of his non-basic lands, and organized them by color combination. So he has like all his blue-red lands in one spot. So now the times that we go over Sean's house to playtest, and we're like, shit, we should put a deck together. We'll know where the mana base is at the very least, and we'll have to dig through a bunch of garbage. Russian Mana Tithes, because I don't want to, I want people to not know what that card does when I cast it, and we're like, no, Force Spike's not a white card, you're an idiot. But, no, I just got the 2. I'm going to sideboard in Death and Taxes probably, just for, the control mirror, or the control matchup when everybody's trying to play Jace. Because against mono white, nobody's going to see that shit coming, and they're going to slam turn 4 Jace or turn 5 Jace if I have Thalia every single time. And I'm just going to be like, getcha, Mana Tithe. That's as fancy as I want to get, is just to get them at all with it. So. But yeah, Sean's collection's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. We were looking, like, as we were organizing the lands, we were separating them all by color, and just for the standard dual lands, the fast lands or whatever, I pulled out a bunch of Botanical Sanctums, and he had 3 play sets, not including stuff that was in decks, so I think he has more. And we do need to get together at Sean's house soon. But yeah, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea from Chris. But yeah, he had like 12 Botanical Sanctums, and I was like, why do you have this many? He's like, I don't know, man, I just got them. And I was like, okay, so here's what you do. Keep 2 play sets, put them in this binder, color coordinated with the rest of your stuff. Take this other play set, that goes in your trade binder, get rid of that shit before it rotates. And hopefully he takes the advice and does that, because there's no reason to have 12 Botanical Sanctums. Same thing with like Spirebluff Canals. He had more than 2 playsets, so everything that was over 2 playsets shipped into a trade binder. He's got a lot of cards, and like that's a dude that like sold a collection off already once when we all kind of quit back in the day. Yeah, I think he's just concerned with hoarding cards. I don't think he's concerned with making any money back on cards. I think he's the same mindset that I am. Like, I sold all my shit once and I'll never do it again, so I have no interest in selling stuff out. I know you have like a system of flow where you get a lot of stuff in and out or whatever, so you turn over a lot, but I don't think he's interested in it. He's just interested in hoarding. Like I said, 164 basic full art Zendikar foil lands for no reason. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing that he could do. He could just drive a lot of that shit down to cool stuff and sell it all off for store credit and buy a fucking legacy deck. Like, the amount of stuff he has, like, if he just got rid of standard stuff, I think he could eventually come into a good amount of store credit someplace and end up, like, getting some good stuff for either legacy or... I told him, like, he can get a legacy deck if he just sold off his basic foil lands, or, like, get, like, the mana base of a legacy deck. He could buy into Vintage if he got rid of, like, all the abundance of crap he's never going to use. Yeah. But again, I don't think he's interested in the finance, like, flipping and making money off of Magic cards. I don't think he's trying to Rudy it. He's not trying to alpha investments that shit. I think he's trying to just have the ability to build any deck he ever wants, at least in Standard and Modern. Which in Modern, we figured out the things that he's missing playsets of are like Celestial Colonnades. He doesn't have any of. He needs a couple Arcbound Ravagers and a set of like Steel Overseers, and then he has... Oh, and a couple Mox Opals. Then he can play Affinity. He needs... He doesn't have Through the Breaches. I think he has the Emeralds, but not the Through the Breaches. I think that was about it as far as modern goes. Oh, the Bobs. He doesn't have Bobs. But, yeah, I definitely, I felt bad for borrowing his stuff all the time. So I was like, dude, let me come help you organize it at least if I'm going to borrow it all. Yeah, he has 2 play sets of full art bolts just because. Yeah, Celestials are ridiculous right now, especially with Jace. Everyone's going to be trying to play Jeskai in blue-white still. Yeah, his full art bolts are pretty ridiculous too. Yeah, the old F&M bolts are super nice too. I would actually most like to have a set of beta bolts. Like, I'd like a set of beta bolts, beta swords to plowshares, just for the good playable uncommons or whatever commons. Yeah, beta bolts, beta swords, maybe beta dark rituals, which would be cool. I still want to get beta planes for Death and Taxes, but I don't care that much. I like the Rebecca Gay ones. So, RJ, with the whole store thing, are you going to be looking to play Magic anymore even lately? Or are you going to be heading anywhere to play anytime soon? Dave texted, he said it won't load. The stream won't load. I'll text Dave back real quick. Yeah, that's good, man. Because I know that when you were at the shop or whatever, you would only really play consistently if we needed you to fire. Yeah, Odyssey foils would be dope too, Nick. So it's cool that you don't have to be responsible for a card store, that you could play more. I think Wednesday I'm gonna try to play Modern at that new store, because it's literally I could get there in 5 minutes drive, which sucks because I would rather go play with you guys down at the other, at the store, but it's a decent backup plan. Yeah, I want to play a couple more PPTQs this season at least, before the season's done with. I gotta see what comes up on Sundays. There's one at Next Ridge on the 3rd, which is a Saturday, but it sucks taking Saturdays off of work. But yeah, if anybody wants to go play Modern on Wednesday at that new store, I don't know if you'll be at your store or what day is the official last day for you guys. I'm sure you got a lot of shit to do this week, so I understand, but down the line. Yeah, I don't know, maybe if you're not responsible for cards anymore, you'll enjoy playing cards more or whatever. I can imagine having to worry about Magic cards to pay my bills. That would suck. But I don't know. Hopefully Dave could pop up in here if you can get it loading at any point in time. Does the video and sound, is that all okay? Because I can't really hear myself. I'm taking these headphones out, but because if I play the sound back on my laptop, I'll hear it in my head and I won't be able to focus at all. But is the video okay at least, and the sound okay? I know my webcam sucks, it's pretty bad, but As long as I guess you guys can hear me. I guess we're having a conversation, so I guess that's decent. My microphone's okay. My camera sucks. Check my my Twitter and see what's going on. Cool. Yeah, so cool. Awesome. So what's Dave gonna do with all that inventory and stuff? Are you gonna somehow absorb that from him and continue to sell it and like cut him in on it, or are you going to? Is it all gonna go with Dave to his house or whatever? I don't know what your guys' setup is. If it's getting too personal or you don't want to say anything about it or whatever, let me know. But okay, so it's basically all going to you, and Dave's kind of cutting out of the magic world for the most part. Cool. Well, I mean, do you have a large storage space for all those giant ass boxes of all the uncommons and commons and crap? Or are you just bulking it off someplace and grabbing some store cred? Or sitting on it until you open your own damn store. And reply to tweets. Alright, that makes sense. I think a big problem is being in the mall. For some reason, I feel that like affected some of the visibility of the store. Because A, it's Gulfview Square Mall. That mall's terrible. And B, on that end of the mall, it's really, really, really desolate and nobody goes on that side of the mall. Yeah, I would be surprised if that mall lasts another 2 years. Like, that would really be really surprising. Because, like, even, like, the comic store who I'm friends with, like, Brittany that works at the comic store, she was like, yeah, it was getting bad there, and, you know, they finally had to get out of there. I think that if in the future you guys got a good solid location on, like, on or close to 19 someplace, either whether it be Port Richey or Newport Richey or Holiday or whatever, or even up here in Spring Hill or somewhere, you know, in the general 10-mile radius of that, I think you guys could do well without being in the mall. Yeah, I heard that from the comic store folks at Yancey Street, that they had troubles with the mall management and things not getting broken or not getting fixed when they're broken, and just trouble in general. This is gonna be a really boring video on my YouTube channel because we're just having like a personal conversation. But I, Trinity is a really good area too. There's really inside baseball on the MTG Biggie YouTube. So for those who see this in the future, or if anybody else joins this other than my personal friends, which is pretty lame but pretty sweet, we're talking about the local area we live in. It's kind of a suburb of Tampa, Florida, and the area, and specifically the mall that this card store was in, is like a dying mall, which is like one of the saddest things ever to see, because it's just like this captured in time, like, piece of just like, it was locked in time in 1998 and it never really advanced from that point. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That could be an interesting thing. I still want to coordinate things and figure out a way to do a podcast thing. My good friend Nick Baker, who is in the chat, was supposed to a couple times now jump on here and do a Skype podcast thing. Yeah, I think rent over there would be pretty crazy, though, in Trinity. It seems like everything's getting, like, bought up and built higher scale, but yeah, it's funny. I have fond memories of the Gulfview Mall from being a kid. I remember when, like, Chick-fil-A was over by the main entrance where, like, T-Mobile is in that corner. There's a jewelry store there or something, I think, in that corner now. But yeah, Chick-fil-A was there. And then, like, I remember when the GameStop was on the corner where Starbucks is, and it was still Electronic Boutique or whatever. Yeah, we totally should definitely Skype and do a podcasty thing. We'll figure out a way to do it. Yeah, I remember. Fuck, I'm old. I'm slightly older than you guys, so I remember Montgomery Ward being in that mall where Dillard's is. I know, dude. I'm just giving you shit. I know you're super busy working the hustle and having family and a kid and stuff, and trying to play Magic and stuff. I get it. I'm pretty much too busy to do the YouTube thing, but I still try to force time for it. So I've got like a handful of retweets from other like small creators and channels that were that I tweeted at earlier about the whole Demonetization Day. So maybe somebody will show up in here. Yeah, Montgomery Wards. Yeah, that's how old. I remember fucking Farmore in like in the Embassy Plaza. I think that's like too old for most people. Yeah, a video podcast would be kind of what I'd want to do anyway, at least at first, until I sort out the logistics of putting a podcast on like iTunes and on different podcast hubs or whatever. But yeah, I feel old now that I've reminisced about Gulfview Square Mall as a kid. It's ridiculous. I've lived in Florida for too long, and I have been in this area of Florida for too long. Service merchandise. I remember, I think when I was like 4 or 5, I was in service merchandise. My parents bought me a Casey Jones Ninja Turtles action figure from that specific service merchandise. And it was pimp. That's my service merchandise story. Circuit City wasn't too long ago. I mean, it was like 10, 12 years ago, but it doesn't feel that long ago. It feels like it wasn't, you know, terribly unrecent. So, this is the live stream here on the MTG Biggie YouTube channel, where me and my friends talk about stores that are out of business and the shitty local mall that we have nearby. Yeah, I fondly remember service merchandise also. Yeah, I can't even say it. I don't know what it was either. As far as I recall, like, looking at it through adult eyes, it was like kind of like a JCPenney or whatever. But I really enjoyed it when I was a kid too. I don't know what it was. I feel like it was pretty fantastic and exciting every time I went. Yeah, I guess that might be it. It's an easy sell for kids. That's funny how, like, you realize that, like, marketing and just things positioned the right way and displayed properly and, like, things that just look exciting is such an easy sell for children. Like, I think of all the shit I was into as a kid, and I just look at it now, and I'm just like, this shit's lame. How was I ever into this? Like, how did I think this was cool? I mean, some of it's still pretty sweet, but, like, some things are like, I really wanted that as a kid, and now I look at it, it's like, that's pretty stupid. But, yeah, Walmart put everybody out of business, and now Amazon's gonna put everybody else out of business, and eventually Walmart. It says I have 6 watching. I don't know who else is in the chat, if anybody. Maybe I have to update this chat. I apologize if I haven't paid attention and you are in the chat, because the last time I had somebody in the chat, it didn't really work out where I could see what the hell was going on. So, no, I think it's just still you guys in the chat. Yeah. It says I have 6 watching, so there are some folks that are here that are not active in the chat. Welcome. Okay, you said, yeah, you only see 4 in the chat? Okay. Yeah, as of right now, it's just me and you 3. But it says 6 watching on my, on the video page, at least on my, computer. So if there are some folks here watching, not in the chat itself, I apologize for how ridiculous and silly it's been listening to us talk about local businesses that are out of business. But anyway, we should probably talk about Magic, right? That's what we're here for. So, did you guys see the packaging for Dominaria and for Core Set 2018, 2019, whatever the hell they're calling it? Apparently there's going to be a Chandra and a Teferi Planeswalker deck, which means there's going to be a Chandra and a Teferi in the set. I guess that's cool. I don't know. Yeah, they put out packaging from, like, some convention or whatever where they had, like, the box art and the pack, like, the 5 different pack arts. And, it's pretty standard looking stuff, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that they do something cool in that set. I wish they would reprint, like, powerful cards. Like, I don't know. It just, again, makes me sound old when I'm like, everything's very weak and very specific. Why not just make things powerful and good? But it at least looked interesting. The core set's coming back, I think, is a good thing. It's one of those things, one of many things that Wizards is like changed and then backed out of the change and have gone back and forth on to like a ridiculous degree. Oh yeah, Jaya Ballard, yeah. But I don't know. If we could recoup or recount all the things that Wizards changed and then rechanged, there was 3-set blocks going to 2-set blocks, and then 2-set blocks going to now single-set blocks, or just big sets, no small sets. Yeah. I agree. Changing things to appeal to a wider audience and to try to, I guess, putting more products in Walmart for new players is sort of good, sort of bad, but whatever. But yeah, so the 3-set blocks to 2-set blocks to just big sets. There was the we're not going to pay the pros anymore. Oh wait, we're going to now pay the pros. And then there was the no modern Pro Tour, and then, oh yeah, there's a modern Pro Tour, and then, no, we're not doing the modern Pro Tour, and then, oh, there's modern Pro Tours again. And then, what else? I mean, all the standard bannings they didn't really back out on or go back on. They just kind of banned a bunch of shit from standard. And that was cool. What else did Wizards say they were doing and then back out on or go back on? The rotation schedule, the shorter rotation or whatever, where standard rotated more frequently. And then everybody's like, well, then my cards aren't as good and I'm going to have to spend a ton more money to keep up with standard. And they're like, okay, never mind. I think that should be like their mantra at Wizards of the Coast should just be, okay, never mind. Yeah, we'll see. It's weird how much of the game has changed. It just feels like they tried to fix a bunch of things that weren't broken. That's the problem, I think. And I think that they should dial it back on the... I've talked about this in another video, but they should dial it back on the really, really, really specific, block-specific mechanics that have no chance of being, like, played or playable with other blocks or in other blocks later on. Like, energy. Just, like, they'll never bring that back. Oh, yeah, from the Vaults and Masterpiece sets. The Masterpiece, we're going to do these in every set, and we're going to not do these in every set. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, like, I just lost my train of thought. But, oh, how, like, things weren't broken and they just started changing and trying to fix things. Like, I just remember back when we all played as kids, how things seemed more stable and more steady, and how things were far more consistent. And now, like, with, like, very block-specific mechanics that are super, super, like, you're either all in or not at all with. Like, energy, you're either playing energy and all your energy stuff has to be good, and you're going to just use energy. Man Cave MTG, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Thank you. Even if you can't stick around or whatever, thanks for coming in. And hopefully we all survive this stupid YouTube thing. But yeah, evergreen mechanics that make sense, they just don't seem to really support. Cycling should be evergreen, I agree. But yeah, like, energy is way too specific. I think vehicles are kind of too specific, even though they kept up with those so far. Kabuki Kid, holy crap, welcome. you just walked into the middle of the stream where I'm talking with some of my real life Magic friends, because that's all I could get to come into the stream. So sadly, we're talking about the local scene here and the local mall and how shitty it is, and that we've moved on to try to talk more about Magic. So I'm glad to see you. For my friends RJ and Nick, who are my real life friends, and Chris, Kabuki Kid was one of my first like subscribers that commented on like every video and has stuck around throughout the whole history of the short history of YouTube. David Christie, holy crap, buddy. But yeah, Kabuki Kid, she's been on board from like day one almost, or what feels like day one. So it's cool to see her in here. Dave, what's up, dude? How are you doing? We'll speak in code to keep your personal business personal, but I hope you're doing better, and I hope you're feeling better, and I love you, and I'm going to give you a huge man hug the next time I see you. See, now we've got the gang in here. I feel like the unfortunate part is like the first 20 to 30 minutes of this is going to be just a silly, sort of nonsensical, ridiculous thing that's going to be unwatchable. Well, dude, I can't say it gets better or it gets easier or it gets like it's going to change drastically and feel better suddenly, but you're the man, and you are a good dude, and you are just like piling up a bunch of karma for a bunch of good shit to happen to you. So look out for that, Dave. Good things are coming, buddy. I'm glad that even if it's a day-to-day basis and you're doing your thing or whatever, and just trying to handle your personal business or whatever, I'm glad that you're getting along with that and working through it. So, if anything, you know, welcome to the live stream, the first ever time I've streamed live. Yeah, I'm glad you popped online too, Kabuki. It's good to see some regulars on here. Aw, thanks, RJ. Yeah, she's on like consistently in the comments and shit, and kind of helping create a decent vibe down there below the videos, so it's good looking out. I keep getting likes and retweets on this whole Twitter thing, so hopefully some more folks join along. But yeah, the evergreen mechanics need to be super like focused on, and I think they need to be like the non-evergreen, the block specific mechanics should just be kind of a little more generic. Like Raid was fine, Outlast was really specific but not that great, so it was fine. What other block mechanics have been decent? Even like the even in Kaladesh, the whole like improvise or whatever, the tap your artifacts to pay for your stuff thing seems fine. Trying to think. And Amonkhet, like Eternalize and Embalm seem fine. Like those mechanics aren't too broken, where they're not going to cause like poor feelings or poor gameplay or whatever. It's like energy's really busted, and that feels shitty. And like when they do things like Storm or Dredge or whatever. Yeah, if you're in or around or near Florida any given time, definitely play some Magic. That goes for everybody on my YouTube channel. If you're ever in, like, the Tampa area of Florida, get a hold of me, tweet at me, and if you're there for any extended period of time, we'll go play Magic at somewhere local shop. They should not reprint Storm ever, Nick. And I don't mind playing against Storm in, like, Legacy and Modern. I'd rather play against them Modern than Legacy, but... yeah, I don't assume that fantasy football players want to talk about Magic. They're busy talking about jock nerdy stuff. Fantasy football is just D&D for jocks. But yeah, like, Storm, Dredge, like, why? Now Energy fits in that. Delve is, like, a really, like, can get really busted really quick. Thank you, Dave. I complained about that in my last video, how I was super excited for Madness coming back, and then Madness was just hot garbage. Holy crap, it was bad, and it felt super bad because I was super excited to try to build something with Madness. Yeah. I haven't got too into D&D. I played for like a brief minute with a group of friends, and it was sort of fun, but I am the sort, I think, to really get into D&D and engage in D&D, I feel like I'd have to get real drunk. I want to pitch cards to cast cards for free as well, Chris. I have my Pauper deck, which is Blue-Green Madness, if you didn't know. I've got it right here. So I have actual, like, the classics here. I don't know if the camera will focus on this, but yeah. I got the old Rootwalla, the old Aqua Amoeba. I got this sleeved up right here in front of me with the piece de resistance of F&M promo Circular Logics. Yeah, see, I'm not, like, outspoken enough to play, like, D&D with a bunch of people I don't know, so I don't think I could do it in the store. It'd have to be with friends and drinking. The Logics are the best thing I bought at GP Orlando last year. Dave, I got you. I have my playset of non-foil Logics, and if you would like them, you are welcome to them. I actually have them somewhere in this desk next to me. I just don't know where they ended up, because right now my desk is just a pile of deck boxes and stuff. But yeah, I got a set for you then, because I have my foils or whatever, and I just switched them out with the regular ones, so I got a set of OG. Beware if you're playing the deck in yeah, Old Border Madness. If you're playing the deck in Pauper, it's not that great. Blue-Green Madness in Pauper is a lot less good than it was in Standard because we don't have Roar of the Worm or Wonder. So we get to play Delver of Secrets and Cantrips. We get to Brainstorm and stuff, which is cool. But, yeah. It's not that good, but it's fun. See, I don't like 3-color decks in Pauper. There's not enough good duels. Yeah, Kabuki, the store that RJ, or Ronald as he appears in the chat, worked for and ran, had a pretty good D&D community, and I would be there a handful of times when they were all into it and playing. And it seems like fun if you're into it. I'm not that outspoken enough. If you guys don't mind entertaining each other in the chat for like a second, I'm going to go acquire a drink. actually not wearing pants, fellas. But yeah, I had to get a drink, and I am raw dogging a bottle of Martinelli's unfiltered apple juice because I'm a goddamn adult. I don't ever wear pants. But yeah, I'm finishing this jug of Martinelli's. I wish they would sponsor me. I wish anybody would sponsor me. Specifically, something like Martinelli's, because I fucking love apple juice. Yeah, you guys are going pretty deep on the D&D jargon that I don't like. I understand like the editions, and I understand, what was it, 3rd edition that everybody hated or something like that. I know there was one that everybody sort of hated, and they were happy when it was done, and they came out with the better version of it, 4th edition. Are you ever not on the toilet, Nick? Yeah, 4th edition was the hated. Okay. See, I know some things about some things. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to see if I can't pop up my Untap and maybe see if I could play a game of Magic on stream on Untap, because I feel like there's got to be a way to make this more entertaining, and I'll try to keep the chat entertained. So I'm gonna put up a game of Modern, and we're gonna try to play the Blue Moon J stack, and you guys can help me in the chat. Cool, we got an opponent here. I'm not even gonna tell him that we're streaming, because it seems like sort of awkward. Let me just pop this out here. Cool. Let me say hi. So you guys can help me not punt, which I'm sure to do. We're playing a game of Modern. And it's going to be so tiny with the screen shrunk out the way it is. But let's see. A good old 5-lander with a remand and a spell snare. What do you think, guys? Do we keep? I'm playing a deck that I already have loaded on Untap, Nick. I'm not going to build a new deck. And I'll see if I can't make my hand bigger. There, okay, we got a zoom. We made it a little bigger. Alright, I guess I'm going to keep, because why not? I see a plains, so alright, we got a bolt. So I guess we go fetch land, pass. Lead on island, send a message. I'd like to send a message of drawing some more spells for myself and eventually blood mooning this this fine gentleman. Okay, we got Plains Island pass. We'll end of turn fetch. The new untap is still kind of, I'm getting used to it more, but I think we fetch a basic because we want to cast Cryptic eventually. Have a shuffle, draw on my turn. Okay, it's telling time while I'm doing my thing. Sure. So we'll throw up another fetch. I'm not going to counter telling time. Seems bad. He could have. No, I've never actually promoted any of my channel on Untap, aside from to a couple people that I play regularly on here. So Yeah, I think I am going to remand whatever happens, if anything. I have a feeling he's going to go land pass, but we'll see. Or he's just going to hold up Spell Queller or something stupid. Myth realized? Do I really remand that? Alright. I'll remand it. I need to draw something anyway. I think I still... Do I basic or do I steam vents? Alright, we're gonna go basic. We're gonna shuffle. We're gonna just remand this thing and let him recast it. Sorry, Kabuki, you were too late to the table with this. Remanding. It's happened. Draw another land, of course, because I'm great at Magic. I should probably put my cards in my graveyard, not my exile. Explain how remand works? Okay. So we have a fairly new player, it seems. Alright. So we'll take my turn. Draw yet another land. We're on infinite lands. We'll play another fetch land and pass. I think the shuffling engine for untap is busted because this happens like some ungodly high percentage of the time. Alright, so basic land, nothing. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and fetch and we'll just get the steam vents. And draw another land? Nope, Jason Mind Sculptor. So, what's the call, fellas and lady? Do we just slam Jace and think that he's not playing anything worthwhile? That he's not going to counter it? Or do we hold Jace up? I'm playing like 22 lands, Nick. You don't know. You don't know what's up. I don't think I want to slam the Jace. I think I do want to cycle Sweltering Suns on his end step and hold up the Spell Snare. So yeah, we're doing that. Sipping on my Martinellis. Alright, he does nothing, so we're going to cycle. Inform this that this is the end of his turn. And draw Snapcaster Mage. Hey, we're drawing cards that matter. Alright, so I have a Blood Moon which does stone nothing on his board. I'm sure he has counter spells because he's playing Myth Realize and doing nothing. So, alright, we're going to just keep fetching and get these lands out of our deck. Nick with the expert read. Louis Scott Baker over here. Oh, double Myth Realized. I appreciate that he's a new player and he's doing things that he feels are, you know, cool. Like, I wanted to play Myth Realized when it was in Standard, but it just didn't pan out. We'll go ahead and fetch again. I guess another basic island. Let's get a mountain so we have a second red source. We're not going to... Yeah, that's fair. I could save the fetch, but I also don't want to draw any more land, so whatever. Then we'll draw... Second Jace. Okay. So... we're just going to play Jace. And see what happens. The myth was indeed never realized. Oh, wow, haha, from my opponent. We're Jacing. Let me ask him if this resolves before I just go brainstorming. Okay, so Jace resolved. I should have cast it 3 turns ago. So I will 0 Jace. Yeah, I should have saved that fetch. You're correct. I know it's the correct thing to do, but I was just like, you know what? I hate all these lands. So, I guess because we're bad, we're going to... We could scry a couple things away with Serum Visions, so we're good. So we'll top land. We'll top the other Steam Vents. We'll play a land for the turn. And I think we just Serum Visions. And then we could scry those to the bottom, or scry the second land to the bottom. It's fine. How do I do this? So I have to figure this out. Oh. Let's see. Look at 2 cards. And we'll go... Oh, another land below there too. Cool. So we'll go bottom. Bottom. And now it doesn't feel that bad. See? We'll see how realized these myths become. Should I just bolt the myth if he activates it to attack Jace? He's doing stuff. Detention Sphere. Oh man, not on my Jace. Oh. Yeah, I can't spell snare that. So here you go, buddy. He passes the turn with no attacks from Myth Realized. So... Alright. We'll draw on a Braid, which effectively... I guess it bolts a Myth Realized. I'm going to Shock. And I guess it was Jam Jace. Nothing in my main deck removes a Detention Sphere except for like Cryptic bouncing it. Yeah, it does cost white to activate, and he tapped both of his planes. So we'll plus and ask to look at the top card of his deck. And he could keep that on top, the planes. And then we just hold up Bolt plus a Braid, so we can kill effectively both of his Myth Realized. But yeah, the only way I could remove a Detention Sphere from in my main deck is to either counter it or bounce it with Cryptic. This is an interesting game of Magic to get on a live stream on Untap. Alright, he again does nothing. Slipknot25, welcome to the stream. As of right now, I'm playing a game of Magic on untap.in in Modern, and I have a group of my personal friends and some Fate Sailing a Newbie. It's Modern, okay? This is what we do in Modern now, Kabuki. But I'm playing a game of Modern against a player who seems fairly new to the game, and I'm jacing him, which feels really like a tough guy thing to do. So we'll just go ahead and do it again. What is this mess? Momentary blink. Yeah, I don't care about that at all. He can have that too, I guess. I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to do. But yeah, Slipknot, welcome aboard. You've walked into a strange piece of stream right here. Next question. How long before I just start firing bolts at his head? Okay, he has a response at the end of my turn. I'm guessing he's going to pump the Myth Realize? No? He's tapping 5. Is this like Avacyn? Oh, he's trying to rev? Harsh. Well. What do we do to a rev? He's revving into like the cards in his deck, so that's not that big of a deal, right? Yeah, alright, we'll just let that happen. Snap Remand? Yeah, okay. Sorry, friend. RJ, let him do it. I kind of like Snap Remand. It feels good. RJ's just like, let him do it. Just let it happen. I mean, he's drawing a momentary blink off of that rev plus random card. Oh, this feels like a bloodbath. I don't feel good about this. I like Time Walks too. It's weird because usually when I play on here, like every time I've played lately, Vapor Snag. On Snapcaster, you're gonna Vapor Snag my Snapcaster. Yeah, okay. I feel like that's cool. I'll take it. I hope he learns. He said he wants to lose the game already. Well, alright. At least he has no delusions that he's, like, gonna win anything anytime soon. Okay, he's turning on Myth Realized. So we just Abrade and Lightning Bolt. And then bolt the other. I think Dave was right. The myth never really is realized. He's being a super good sport about it. So big ups to Lord_Rob on untap. Like, you're being a super good sport because you're getting super steamrolled here, and I'm sorry, man. It feels really bad when you just do busted things like Jason the Mind Sculptor. Hey, look, we could start brainstorming if we want, but we'll still Fate Seal him. But it feels super bad when you just get steamrolled by somebody doing, like, busted stuff, and you're trying to do some cool things. Yeah, he can keep that. Haven't found a card worth putting on the bottom yet. Yeah, that feels super bad, and he's being a super good sport about it, so that's super cool of him. I appreciate that. In the event he top decks something that takes Jace out from 9 loyalty, like another D-Sphere, which I guess, remand and draw into something. Yep, does nothing. I think we just stay the course and draw on Fate Seal. Are we going to ultimate a Jace against the Myth Realized deck? Yep, you can keep your Glacial Fortress. Yep. Alright, we're going to play a land. Electrolyze, snap, electrolyze. That's dirty. I don't even want to do it. I'm not going to pull the trigger on that, Nick. I hope that this helps him learn something, and if the lesson is purely that Myth Realized is a bad Magic card, or that Jason Mind Sculptor is a really good Magic card, I don't know if that'll be the only lesson, but we're doing it. I apologize if you guys can hear my dogs in the background. They're playing super hard right now. At least Blood Moon is one non-basic. No. Alright, we're going to draw. Oh, there, we drew Cryptic. Excellent. We're going to go to 13. We're going to look at his top card again. Do I care about a Reflector Mage? I guess I'll bottom Reflector Mage. That's annoying when I have Snapcasters, right? Sure. He might add his Jace to his Myth Realized deck. Alright, it's my turn. So we can ultimate Jace this turn and keep it at 1 loyalty. That's fair. So do we just ultimate Jace? I think we ultimate Jace. We're doing it, guys. He's being a real good sport. Yeah, there's your deck, and now your 6 cards are your hand. The funny thing is, he totally has Sphinx's Rev in his hand. He could have just done to kill himself. Yeah, we'll stay the course and do nothing. On the end of his turn, should I Cryptic Command his Detention Sphere just to get a Jace with higher loyalty? Or is that too much? That's too much. We're going to 3 on this turn anyway. Let's see what was in his hand all this time. Sphinx's Rev. We're going to make his last card Sphinx's Rev, so he can't rev out of the game. Oh, I have to discard, so we're going to pitch a Blood Moon. Don't win gracefully, pocket sand. Nick, well, you could double Fate Seal. You're not annihilating him enough, really, if we're being honest. Did I not pass the turn? Yeah. Sorry. Oh, I draw Opt. That's... I could cast that. I'm going to cast another spell this turn. Logic Knot. So, I don't think... I don't think we need a Logic Knot. I think we're good without a Logic Knot. Ah, another Cryptic. Sweet. Alright, we're just going to discard this other Blood Moon and... pass. I didn't even Jace him. It feels too bad, man. Oh, he's casting something. He's gonna rev. He has another rev. Alright. We're gonna remand it. I got an oh, come on. And hold up Snap Cryptic. Another Jace. Everything's coming up Millhouse. I have not dealt a point of damage to him this game. I just want to point that out. He's at a perfect 20. I guess we can discard a Spell Snare. Or no, let's... I guess Brainstorm with Jace. Alright. I guess we could tuck a Jace. And, I don't need an Engineered Explosives. And then we can pass and we can discard that. Discard other Spell Snare. Yeah. His bottom card is Rev, so unless he has another Rev, I don't think that he can kill himself. He's tapping some lands. Is this another Rev? It's a Rev. Alright, I'm done. He's technically not dead. He's only revving for exactly 2, so I have to pass turn for him to die. This is an interesting part of the stream. And thank him for being a good sport. Well, that was an experience. I think I'm done trying to play on Untap. That was just the silliest. Fix the chat here real quick. Or attempt to. Man, my laptop sounds like hot garbage. I'm playing on, like, probably the equivalent of a potato right now. Well, I think that might be a good way to call it for the chat, and for the stream, rather. It's like RJ stepped out. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. Maybe he will find the stream and find out how bad it could have been. Yeah, guys, thank you, those who stopped in and hung out and had at least somewhat of a decent time here. I appreciate it. Nick, RJ, Chris, Dave, everybody, Kabuki, thanks a lot for hanging in there. Okay, RJ, you are here? Cool. I'm about to kick off of here, and thanks for showing up. This was the celebrating my YouTube being demonetized stream. The first time I've ever live streamed. I don't know about Thursday night at Sean's. I don't know Sean's schedule, and also I probably should figure out I don't know. I'm gonna try to play Modern on Wednesday, and 2 nights of Magic in a row is bad times for my lovely girlfriend Allison. So either way, guys, I appreciate it. It was fun for sure. I'm glad we got to send it off with the silliest game of Magic, and maybe we will take away this experience. Let's try to break Myth Realized in Modern. And by break Myth Realized, I mean try to make it playable at all in any sort of deck in Modern. So that's my challenge to you guys. Make a Myth Realized deck list, and we will try to realize that myth. Also, Nick, you're in Crystal River now, so yeah, maybe at the very least we could sort of figure out something. Maybe we could try to set something up. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I'd like to get like a Skype thing going on with a bunch of people, because I think that seems like the easiest to coordinate, like at least 3 to 4 of us. But yeah, I'm gonna try to play some Modern on Wednesday, and other than that, yeah, Esper Dragon. Jeskai Moon with Myth Realized as WinCon. Alright, Nick, make the list, build it, and we'll test it and see how we can realize myths. I mean, it doesn't seem completely terrible, but either way, I'm going to kill the stream. I appreciate everything. Let me figure out how to kill this thing. RJ's in 100%. Cool. So let's break Myth Realize, and then we can yeah, play that on the next live stream. I know it sounds bad, Nick. I'm trying to humor people. Kabuki, thank you. Thanks, everybody. I'll see half of you or most of you in the group text, and the rest of you later on in another video. So, yeah, I'm sure all of you guys are subscribed. If you haven't yet, do that. And that's all. Terminate this thing.